Hi dear viewers, I am Kalaivani, Assistant Professor from SNS College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. So today we are going to see about Shikimic Acid Pathway. The Shikimic Acid Pathway is an important biosynthetic pathway in higher plants and microorganisms. It leads to the formation of aromatic amino acids and several phenolic secondary metabolites. This pathway is absent in animals, making it a key target for herbicides and antibiotics. So from here on, we will begin with the introduction to Shikimic Acid Pathway. Shikimic Acid Pathway is a metabolic pathway, means a sequence of biological reaction. The reactions of Shikimic Acid Pathway can be divided into four parts, that is condensation action and cyclization and production of Shikimic acid, and the alteration of Shikimic acid to chorismic acid and conversion of chorismic acid to other products. Now coming to the name of the pathway. This pathway is called Shikimic acid pathway as cyclic acid is the central metabolite in this pathway. The name Shikimic acid itself has been derived from the plant from which this component was isolated, Shikimic acid, and from a plant called Shikimic in Japanese language. The botanical name of the plant is Lcm religiosum. And now coming to the reactions of Shikimic acid pathway, Shikimic acid begins with condensation of phosphoenol pyruvic acid and erythrose phosphate. The phosphoryl pyruvic acid comes from glycolysis, where the erythrose 4-phosphate comes from pentose phosphate pathway. Erythrose 4-phosphate is the intermediate product of pentose phosphate. The condensation of phosphoenol pyruvic acid and erythrose 4-phosphate results in the formation of a 7-carbon compound that is called as 3-deoxy-D-arabinoheptulosonic acid, 7-phosphate, which is abbreviated as BHP. This condensation occurs in the presence of enzyme called DHP. Now coming to cyclization and production of Shikimic acid, DHP undergoes cyclization reaction to form 3-dehydroxyuric acid. The cyclization occurs in the presence of enzyme called 3-dehydrogenase synthetase. The production of Shikimic acid from 3-dehydroxyuric acid occurs into a staircase. In first step, 3-dehydroxyuric acid synthetase loses a water molecules and forms 3-dehydroxyuric acid in the presence of enzyme called 3-dehydroxyurate dehydrogenase. 3-dehydroxyuric acid is now changed to Shikimic acid in the presence of enzyme called sigma Shikimic oxidase. Now, alteration of Shikimic acid to chorismic acid. The alteration of Shikimic acid to chorismic acid begins with phosphorylation at the third carbon to give Shikimic 3-phosphate. To give Shikimate 3-phosphate, this phosphorylation occurs in the presence of enzyme called Shikimate kinase. Phosphorylation is followed by esterification at fifth carbon to give a compound called 5-enol pyruvyl Shikimate 3-phosphate. This esterification occurs in the presence of enzyme called enol pyruvyl Shikimate 3-phosphate synthetase. 5-enol pyruvate Shikimate 3-phosphate is changed to chorismic acid in the presence of enzyme called chorismate synthetase. Now, alteration of chorismic acid to Shikimic acid. Chorismic acid is the branching point in Shikimic acid pathway. Acid may change to enterolinolic acid or periphenic acid, that is anthralinic acid or periphenic acid, and then in the presence of water, uh, the phosphorylase through a series of reaction. We will not go to the detail of this reaction, but it should be noted that the aromatic ring C2, C3 of ring indole and aniline chain of tryptophan are derived from enzymatic acid, and that is anthracite acid, D-ribose and L-cysteine respectively. Now coming to the peripheric acid, the enzyme chorismic mutase convert chorismic acid into peripheric acid. Peripheric acid is the precursor for tyrosine and phenylalanine. For tyrosine, peripheric acid is first converted to 5-periphenate dehydrogenase, and pyruvic acid, phenylpyruvic acid in the presence of enzyme periphenate dehydrogenase, and for phenylalanine formation, peripheric acid is converted to phenylpyruvic acid, p-hydroxyphenylpyruvic acid. In dehydration, both these intermediates product go through immunization to produce tyrosine and phenylalanine. Now, significance of Shikimic acid pathway plays a very important role in providing precursors of a large number of aromatic compounds, and it also participates in the formation of various aromatic amino acids, and these participate in the formation of natural products with structural carbon contents C6, C3, and the formation of natural products, the structural compound. These are the class of compounds and pathway, that is coumarins, lignans, etc. Aromatic amino acids, aromatic phenolics, etc. Different classes of alkaloids. So I hope you have all enjoyed the session. Thank you. Hi dear viewers, I am Kalaiva.